Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Mema wakwaba e de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say obe subscribe to channel no click bell so say the news to our sabit me aka ntem no watie afa so make sure say obe like na wa comment no share ama afoforo so nsaka na comment section ho so no opese wo kire wa adwen obetimi e de wadwen kire ato honom na amanfo so anya bia kenkan na onim say PENDREAM TV there eye nsem a ekoso Ghana yam politics mu ne de ba na yasaka ya ne de abranti na so me video I saka pese no che na ye de ba nti me mo modern astro so obehwe video we amana si awie na wa kire wa adwen e comment section na se yenko video.
The stand of the NPP party and the presidency are known. If the NPP party was against this, their members of parliament would not have voted for it. So
why are you not signing? Why the gridlock?
Well, 1 second. Now, so to say Bawumia was reluctant is totally unfounded. There was a call on him. He took advantage of yesterday's event, which is a big Muslim event, and made his comments. But otherwise, it's not an issue. Not an issue at all. The NPP is for it. Our members of parliament all voted for it. The president himself had said it would not be under his watch that this business will be legitimized in this country. The president hasn't said that it's because of some letter from Ministry of Finance. That's why he hasn't signed. The president says there are constitutional issues that have been raised, and those issues are before the courts. And so he would like to, for the abundance of caution, wait a little. He hasn't said there's some letter from Ministry of Finance, that's why he's not signing. So this big effort by Samuel Kujeto to say that there's some letter and Bawumia knows about it and the president is right.
No, you should be telling us, did he authorize that letter? He's the head of the economic management team.
The letter did not come from the economic management team, it came from the Ministry of Finance. Now, the reason that the president has given is known to all of us. And indeed, the issue is before the courts, isn't it?
So how do you explain to people who said that when the E-levy was passed by Parliament, the minority, members of the minority went to court?
Yes.
So I don't know
yes, that's one of the plaintiffs, yeah.
Yet the president accepted the bill from Parliament and assented.
And assented.
Well, you know,
with pomp and pageantry.
1 second. If you want to hint at some inconsistency, you may be within your rights. But the E-levy and the issue that went to court, we're not constitutional issues, were they?
Yes.
Were they
they're constitutional issues.
What
that they lack a quorum. Because in the Abdullahi case, you said we could not reject the budget because we are 137. Those who approved this E-levy were 136, an inferior number. A major constitutional matter on quorum.
Well,
that is why we went to court.
Well, these are constitutional issues about human rights. And the presidents deemed them big enough to be cautious. But if you want to raise the issue and hint that there could be some inconsistency, I don't have a problem. That's your viewpoint.
People's conduct line should align with their rhetoric. That's all I'm saying.
The bottom line is that the president's conduct is in line with his rhetoric.
Really?
Absolutely. He hasn't said he's against LGBT. He's in favor of LGBT. Has he said so?
Actions speak louder than words.
Has he said so?
You've heard the saying. Actions speak louder than words.
The political party NPP is against LGBT, and that is evident by the vote
see it in
Parliament.
Let's see it in action.
If a president,
let's see it in action.
Independent watcher, if there's an independent watcher, and this
like you,
this is a president who, irrespective of a court case, once Parliament has finished its work and they transmitted a thing, he accepted, irrespective of that, he accepted for it to become law.
Which one?
The E-levy.
Yeah.
And then the same president, in the course of this, all the interventions that have come up, his utterances when he met the diplomatic community and they raised issues. When Kamala Harris came and she raised issues, his commentary on it. never making a definite position, a clear position that I am for this law, this is what my country's position is on it, we will sign it into law. He doesn't make those positions. He always creates room for, let's wait.
But I thought we're in this country when the president said that it will not be under his
Is
watch.
it, Nana? So I've made this point, Nana, I've made this point several times. The issue of legalizing LGBTQI and prescribing it are not the same.
So where lies the
So you
president?
see,
what is the take of the president?
I'm saying that it is not under my watch. I will not make it legal.
Yeah.
It's not the same as I will prohibit it in law. They are two different things.
Why do you say so?
Because you see, I will not make it legal does not mean that I will go ahead and sign a law which prohibits it.
But the president has said very clear that there are issues in courts.
No, so I was until you asked me
agree.
the question, I was just building a point. That's why I brought in the e-levy one.
Yeah.
And then I said that if you look at the instances I gave, and then just when Parliament did this work, the Ministry of Finance's
Letter.
statement, which was obviously deliberately leaked, and we all know that it's a strategy that is used.
Yeah.
Strategy to do what?
Yeah.
It's obviously to build a certain narrative about, well, if you have not thought about it and you just have been thinking about this, that, these are the repercussions.
Yes, this is what you're about to do.
And then to go ahead and say that on the basis of this, so it's like a position paper. Mr. President, we know this is coming to you, but on the basis of these repercussions, we think that you shouldn't do it. And then the next thing is that you see this cease and desist letter, and the president seeks to rely on something that he didn't rely on earlier.
Which is what?
The e-levy.
Which is the issue that somebody has gone to court, and therefore don't even serve me with it.
Yeah.
And then two, the president seeks to do something that in his earlier position, when he decided not to assent to a bill, the route he chose, the route that he used, which is what the Constitution prescribes. On this particular occasion, he decided not to use that route, but to use a route that is unknown.
Yeah. So what is
unknown to the Constitution, unknown to convention.
So what is the import?
I am saying that when you put all that together, the issue of the president having said that it will not happen under my watch, does not suffice.
Okay. So you say that when you put all of these things together, you doubt the president's commitment.
Yes.
Okay. But what the president has said is that because the issues are in court, he would prefer to wait. You can raise the issue that will show something. I've said to you that this one raises constitutional issues as against the e-levy one. But whatever it is, if you say that it raises inconsistent issues, well, you are within your rights to make that here. I don't have a problem. But the stated reason that the presidency has given is that, and we all know the major issues that have been raised by civil society. Unless we are going to say that the civil society people too were part of some plots, which I don't believe. But major issues have been raised by civil society organizations and individuals about the constitutional implications of this. That's been that we all know. And they've actually proceeded to take the matter to court. So if the president says that, I'm going to wait for the court to decide, that's the reason that he's given. If tomorrow the court rules that the bill doesn't offend any human rights of any kind, then the president must sign. If he doesn't sign at that point, then we can say that, but president, that means that you are in favor of LGBT. But until we reach that point.
So what stopped the president? What stopped the president?
Yeah.
From accepting the bill?
Yeah.
And informing Parliament in writing?
So, but
as the Constitution prescribes.
But we have all said that it could be tidier.
So that's why I said that when you look at all the issues surrounding it,
you also must look at the issue.
It's difficult.
Yes, very difficult.
It's difficult to accept that.
We are not zombies.
I have said to you that if you come away with that impression based on the things that have happened, it's your legitimate concern, but the official reason given by the president is also a legitimate reason. And the president has also said very clearly to this guy, I don't know if it's a State of the Nation address or something, but he was very categorical that he would not, as president, legitimize LGBTQ.
But that's not on the table.
Sorry?
That's not on the table.
What is on the table?
What is on the table is the
bill.
No, what is on the table? The bill.
Yes.
Is about legislating against it.
Yes. And the president has said he doesn't support legislating against it.
What the president has said is that it is not under my watch or on my watch.
That it will become
be legislated.
Yes.
But that is not on the table.
What is on the table is legitimate. What do you call it?
So they are
outlawing.
So there are two forms here. There are two forms of
the president hasn't said that he is against outlawing it. He said that there are constitutional issues raised. I would like to wait.
Has the president ever said?
1 second. I would like to wait for those constitutional issues to be resolved. You have said that, but there were some other issues that there were court issues raised.
Yes.
So, and in those one or two instances, the president signed. So you can raise the issue of inconsistency if you like.
Yeah, but not the reason. The point I'm making is
the reason that the president gave is that these are constitutional issues, and so let me wait. You are saying that in some other instance he didn't wait. I'm saying that.
In fact, the president even didn't say that there are constitutional issues. What he said was that his attention has been drawn to a court case. Yes. Yes. Which really is the injunction.
Okay. So in that case, then if you would say that then
he says it's settled law.
Yes. Yes. And then, sorry.
He says it's settled law that when there is an injunction, everybody stays their hands off until a determination. And
there's no injunction.
There was an application for an injunction.
Yeah.
Yes.
And does it serve as an injunction? An application for injunction?
You could interpret it to say
because we still haven't settled this thing clearly. Unfortunately, none of us is.
I think the Supreme Court has settled it.
What did they say?
You see, even by their ruling on the FEMOPO.
Yeah.
You know the earlier on the Amanda Audrey one. Which
one is that?
One of the issues. There's the Richie Sky and there's the Amanda Audrey.
Okay.
Now, when this issue was at the second stage of second reading, Amanda Audrey went for an injunction and raised the same issues, the human rights issues and all.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court's position was that Parliament cannot be prevented
from doing its work.
Mm-hmm. And so they did not grant that thing.
Yeah.
And Parliament went ahead. Mm-hmm. Then, the same, the FAMACO, is also asking for Parliament to be stopped from carrying out its functions. Mm-hmm. The Supreme Court says that no. Now, what the two people have gone.
The Supreme Court says no to what?
It says that no, we cannot grant you the injunction.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, what these people are also asking for, I mean, is
the civil society people.
No, the civil society groups have not gone to court. The two issues in court are the Richie Sky and the Dr. Amanda Audrey.
Okay.
Those are the two issues.
Okay.
So now the thing is that the president says that don't come and serve me with the thing because the matters are in court. Per the Supreme Court's position on the matter, it says that you can't stop Parliament from doing this.
Well, we've agreed that is
now. If the transmission of the bill to the president is part of Parliament's legislative function, then it stands to reason that the position of the Supreme Court is that in the course of doing its legislative function, you can't stop it.
But we've talked about that.
Yes. So why does the president then rely on that? And to say that it is a settled law?
You don't agree with the president relying on that. Obviously. But that, to stretch it to mean that then the president is in favor of LGBT.
I have not said so. I have not said so.
That's the matter on the table.
No, I have not said so.
But nobody.
But the matter on the table is whether the president supports, from Sami's long lecture, whether the president supports. He says that actions are not consistent. And
Yes,
so on.
yes, they're not consistent. They are not matching the rhetoric.
Yes, but I'm saying that doesn't mean that the president is in favor of LGBTQ activities. That's the bottom line. Because he's actually made statements.
Give the
effect.
Ghanaian people confidence by your conduct.
We politicians always have a confidence deficit. You know that. Or you don't know. We always like confidence. The public.
How convenient.
So that one is not an issue. The issue is that the president has come out very clearly to tell the nation that he will not be the person to legitimize LGBTQ. Now there's a law, there's a bill that is seeking to proscribe the activities. The president has said there are human rights issues raised in courts. Let's wait for it to be settled. My interest is that let's urge the courts to rule quickly on this matter.
Rule quickly on what? The injunction?
On the whole issue of the
Are you saying that the president must wait for the substantive matter to be decided before?
But the substantive matter can be dealt with in a couple of days.
No, but
there are human rights issues.
You spoke about precedence.
Yeah.
Do you know what this means
What?
for governance in this country? That any time the president must take a decision, somebody can go to court and say that, or anytime Parliament takes a decision.
So let's wait for the injunction application.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the issues that are being raised, they are not really complex. It's a matter of looking at the bill clause by clause by clause and deciding whether some clause there.
The point is, that first
and
of all, the thing must become law.
Sorry?
First of all, it must become law.
Before?
Yes.
Yeah, then the Supreme Court should say so.
Yes, it must become law before you strike out anything.
Listen, I don't have a problem with that.
Otherwise, the legislative process prescribes for how clauses in bills are dealt with.
Exactly.
Yes. Now I'm saying,
and you see, this has been the most publicly discussed and imputed piece of legislation in the history of this parliament by the president's chief legal advisor. Made input.
Yes.
This matter went wrong. Over 300 organizations and individuals.
But does that remove the fact that
made input?
There's an injunction.
If you have any concerns, your attorney general was there at the table.
No, I'm saying that does that remove the fact that there's an injunction process?
It
doesn't. So this people are bringing the attorney general.
These are clear shenanigans.
Clear shenanigans.
Clear
to support
shenanigans.
LGBT.
Clear shenanigans. Because you people, your finance minister says you lose $3.8 billion. That's how you've reduced us to reduce our sovereignty, reduce our values.
So now he's ascribing
to pecuniary
interest.
Why? I wrote that letter. And the head of the economic management team, where was he?